Hey guys, I'm Crystal, your content director and photographer over at Crystal Clear Photography, and I want to talk to you a little bit about how brand photography is just one piece to a big puzzle. So let's get started talking about branding in general and where a photographer actually plays into the overall brand. I get it. Building a business is a big deal and we want to do everything just right. So how do you know when you need a photographer when you're starting out and creating your business or trying to build up your business? Maybe it's new or you're trying to revamp. So let's talk a little bit about the steps in the process and where that photographer will fit in. First off, you want to make sure that you have thought about your business vision. So it's all going to start with what is your business? What are you creating? How are you going to impact the market? That's going to be level one, right? So you're creating those ideas, deciding what your business is going to be. You want to have that vision in mind as to how it's going to impact everybody. What are you going to be offering? What is this business going to look like? Who are you trying to target? All of those types of things. The second level is kind of then piecing together part of your brand, creating a brand identity. Going through and creating your color palette, deciding what your logo is going to be, deciding what kind of feel and mood are you going to have to your brand overall. Creating that little bit of vision board that's really going to help then propel you into the next step, which is working with a website or graphics designer to help build your website and make that vision actually come to life. So that website designer is probably going to be working with you on then taking your brand palette and design and really creating a layout and making that vision come to life on a website and deciding what your colors are going to be, what kind of pages you need to have, what kind of information you're going to be putting out there. And a lot of times when you work with a website designer, especially a professional one, they're going to provide you with a nice little mock-up so you can kind of get an idea of what they're going to be creating for you and how that's going to look. It gives you guys an opportunity to kind of move around some of those visual pieces and make sure that you've got everything important that you want for your business there to show your audience. Once you also have that mock-up, it's something nice to kind of hold on to because that's something that you can then share with your photographer. So once you have that design and layout set up, you've worked with this website person, you guys are getting going, you've got a good idea of what you're going to need in terms of photos and what your website's really going to look like, it's time to hire your photographer. So propelling into hiring the photographer comes next. So if you notice, really hiring a photographer is kind of like the fourth step in your overall branding process. You've created your business and your vision, you know what you want to do, what you're selling, who you're selling it to. You've created this brand identity where you've worked with a branding specialist to develop your colors, your vision, your fonts, your logo, all of those kinds of things. Now you've gotten to a point where you're working with the website designer who is going to help you create this beautiful website. You have an idea of where all these graphics are going to go, what kind of photos and things that might play well with your website and the layout that you've chosen for your business. Now it's time to hire a brand photographer. So when you hire the brand photographer, you get an opportunity to kind of interview a few individuals. And if you're going, wait, interview? Yep. Make sure to interview your brand photographer so that you know who you're going to be working with, whether or not they understand your vision and the images and things that you're going to need for your brand and your website, and then make sure that you guys are on the same page in terms of style and overall look. If you're going for brighter, lighter photos, you're probably not going to want to work with a photographer who typically shoots more moody, darker images because it's probably not going to fit their style either. So make sure that you interview your photographer, and then once you've selected that person, we're really going to hold your hand and walk you through the process of figuring out your location, deciding what kind of setups that you need. If you've got a physical, tangible product, then we're also going to be helping you with deciding what kind of setups and things you would need to be able to display that product in the right way. And then deciding whether or not you want to incorporate models and what kind of style and whether you want lifestyle images or maybe you just want some simple plain photos for your catalog, those kinds of things. We really kind of help walk you through those steps to make sure that you're confident, that we're connecting, that we're on the same page, and that you're really going to be able to take your vision that you've gotten here and actually bring it to life to the people that you're trying to work with or serve or provide a product to. So again, you can see that there are a couple of different steps that we've gone through here and where the photographer actually fits in and how we're just one piece of an overall puzzle. So what happens when you get your photos? What then? Well, a lot of times you go back to your website designer, and they also have a graphic designer. So you typically, after you work with the photographer, you'll go back to your website designer, and they either have a graphic designer on their team, or you might want to consider hiring someone to assist you with creating the overall graphics. The overall graphics are going to be the things that you're going to utilize when it comes to the marketing, or maybe you want a pretty banner that incorporates the image that we took, but also has some other text and things added in. Your website designer can be capable of doing that depending on their level, but you can also look at hiring a graphic designer to help you, and that way you can take those photos, make sure that you've got a really pretty finished product, and launch your brand on a successful foot. So again, brand photography is just one piece of that puzzle. If you have any other questions and tips, please leave me a comment. I'm happy to help. Make sure to click subscribe below so you can keep up with the weekly videos on how I'm going to help you improve your brand and your photography for your business.